quantum computing. Welcome, everyone, and we're happy that you can join us today for this World Resources webinar entitled Quantum Computing Applications, Medical/Cybersecurity Workshop. A very timely topic and a significant one, given the trajectory that is characterizing business, industry, and educational environments, fueled by Education 4.0, 5.0, and Industry 4.0, 5.0. We have an interesting lineup of speakers for you who will share their expertise, their experiences, and knowledge on the trends and issues at the forefront of quantum computing. I would ask that during the presentations, you keep your mics muted and your webcams closed to avoid any distractions. And each presenter would have 25 minutes, followed by a 5-minute question and answer for participants. So it's my pleasure to now hand you over to our first speaker, Dr. Bansal. I believe he has his PowerPoint already, his presentation already. You may upload Dr. Bansal.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so I'll just share my screen.
My screen just went blank and it says wait. So the information on your background, it's not coming up just yet. So I'm going to ask you just briefly, tell us who you are, where you're from, and what you do, Dr. Bansal, before you get into the presentation.
My name is, I'm Dr. Sulabh Bansal, and I'm working as Associate Professor in Manipal University, Jaipur. And my most of the work is in the area of quantum-inspired evolutionary algorithms. And I have taken up this quantum computing course also. And we have started this course in our BTech programs. And presently, I'll just start with my presentation where I have implemented quantum-inspired evolutionary algorithm for solving a very well-known NP-hard problem that is quadratic knapsack problem. So we will just start with the introduction of QIEA, quantum-inspired evolutionary algorithm, the basic framework. And for understanding the basic framework of quantum-inspired evolutionary algorithm, we will start with its basic formulation, where we use single individual. So first of all, I'll just introduce what is evolution. Maybe everyone might not be knowing. Evolutionary algorithm is a class of algorithms which works based on concepts of evolution, natural evolution, and it tries to optimize things. Okay, so it tries to solve. We can use these kind of algorithms, and they are population based algorithms where we start with a population of solutions which we call individuals, and we try to through the iterations, we try to generate new generations as a natural process. And during that process, during these iterations, we keep on improving these quality of these solutions. So quantum-inspired evolution algorithm is another subclass of evolution algorithms where these concepts of evolution are inspired from the quantum computing. So there are operators like encoding of the individuals and superposition principle and rotation gate to generate new individuals. So these are the concepts of quantum computing. They are used here to solve the optimization problems. So here we are trying to solve, uh, we are trying to represent our new framework of quantum inspired evolution, a modified framework. So quantum inspired evolution algorithm has been introduced in early or in late 1990s, and in early 2000, first decade of 2000, that is 2002, Han and Kim presented their paper on this. So here I'll just start with simple QIA with single individual. So here the first row or first row which is shown is representing the quantum bits arranged in a sequence. So each of these cell represents one quantum bit, where I have just represented, say, there are alpha and beta, two numbers to represent, or a vector, quantum bit vector. So I am just representing alpha here uh, for the convenience, and beta can always be assumed there as alpha square, 1 minus alpha square. Okay, so here value of so this particular row represents one individual, quantum bit individual, in a quantum evolutionary algorithm framework, right? So this can be collapsed or observed based on the principle of quantum computing. And for collapsing or observing, we use a simple concept of generating a random number, where we generate a random number for each qubit, and we compare its value with the value of qubit. And if it is a random number value is less than this, we assume it to be 1. So we consider this value of quantum bit as the probability of generating 1 or collapsing this particular bit to 1. Okay, so that's what we can implement easily in our evolution algorithm. And this is how we collapse and observe a particular quantum bit, and we can generate a 0-1 solution, a string of zeros and ones, simple bits representing a particular solution of any problem. So we may have several optimization problems where we suppose we have to select some of the items and we have to reject some of the items based on some criteria, and we objectivate to optimize some function. So in that case, this particular qubit we can just initialize with with value this 1 by root 2, which represents the half of the probability for generating 1 and half of the probability for 0. So initially a quantum bit can be this. Then a random number or random sequence will be generated, which is equally probability is equivalent for each bit to be generated as 1 or 0. Then we can repair. So if our problem which we want to solve, where the individual is supposed to be like constraints, so some constraints are given. So based on those constraints, we can just repair this solution if this particular solution is not satisfying all the constraints which are required. So we can repair it, and we generate a new solution. Now, what we do in this basic framework of quantum inspired evolution algorithm, we evaluate and find new best solution. So what we do, we can just keep on generating new solutions, and we keep on observing and generating many solutions, and then out of those many solutions we select one of the best solution. Okay, and then we rotate our qubit. So what we do, we select the best solution out of that, and then based on the value present in the best solution and based on the value in the generated solution, we we perform the rotation of qubits, so that it is supposed to represent the value, or it represents the probability of each qubit is improved to represent the best solution. So for example, this is 1 and this is 1. So if this is 1 and this is 1, okay, so the probability of generating 1 in both of the case is there. So we have to increase. So what we do, we try to increase the probability of this bit qubit to represent 1, because in the best solution this is 1. So similarly, we increase the probability of this qubit to make 0. So since in the best solution the qubit is supposed to be 0. So that is how this repair solution or rotation is performed, and the values of qubit are updated based on what is the best solution. So this iteratively, these operations are performed iteratively, and these qubit values are optimized or changed based on the best solution we receive after each iteration. So what happens gradually, after certain iterations, the certain number of iterations, when we observe this qubit individual, we tend to generate new solution, which is very much good or close to the best solution we have generated throughout this cycle, throughout these iterations. So for example, in each iteration, we may have new best solution, which is better than the previous best solution. And after that cycle, we perform the rotation and updated the qubits based on the new best solution. So after each iteration, these qubits gets updated based on the new best solution, and ultimately, gradually, after a certain time, we reach to the point where qubits represent the best solution which we have attained till now, and it is supposed to generate new best solution only. So that is how evolutionary algorithms work. So this is simple framework which I have illustrated using a single qubit individual. This can be enhanced using multiple qubit individuals, and this has already been presented by the other researchers. So here we have more than one qubit individual. So we can start with a population of qubit individual, and each population can then generate their set of solutions, and they can like qubit individuals get updated based on the best solution they get or achieve after each iteration. And then after a certain period, they can exchange their good solutions, and then rotation can be performed based on the best solution out of these two. So this is local migration which can be done. And then we have global migration also. So this can be iteratively done to certain times. And then we have a best solution out of all these, and then we can perform after certain iterations or certain period, we can perform global rotation based on the global best solution. So this is how multiple qubit individuals can be used, and each qubit individual can work in their own area. So since each qubit individual prefer to generate a set of solutions, they generate solutions, they have tendency to generate solution in a particular search area of the entire search space of the solutions. So each qubit individual may represent different set of solutions or different area in that search space, and they can gradually come together, reach together, and find the best solution out of the entire search space to reduce the chances of getting local optima. So I am talking about several terms which are related to evolutionary algorithms, soft computing like local optima and search space. So I assume people are knowing that. So we are just talking about how quantum inspired evolutionary algorithm can be used to generate or to find optimal solutions for optimization problems. May not be optimal solution, but the objective of these evolution algorithm is not to find the optimal solution, rather to find the good solution, reasonably good solution in reasonably better time. If these problems are NP hard, and if we actually try to optimize them, then we are probably going to take exponential time, and which may be very high to be used in a for practical purposes. So we have this now. What we have done, we have generated or designed a new structure which is more balanced than in exploration and exploitation. So whenever we talk about these optimization algorithms like evolution algorithms, like genetic algorithms, like PSO, particle swarm optimization, and bee colony optimization. So all these optimization algorithms have to focus on two things. Like they are trying to search a solution space, and in that solution space, they are trying to find best solution within a reasonable time. So their objective is to do two things at the same time. Explore they must be able to explore the entire solution space as much as possible, and they should try to exploit or try to concentrate, try to find the best solution within the best areas which they have attained or they have found. Okay, so they have to set a balance between exploration and exploitation. So whenever we try to optimize or we modify any such population-based search algorithm, our objective is to make it more balanced in its exploration and exploitation. So that's what we have tried. I have tried in my research, and we have first try to find whenever we have a problem at hand, we try to find the best solution with using some greedy or some other heuristic approach which is well known for that problem. And then instead of starting our best solution as a trivial 000 or basic solution, we start our quantum inspired evolution algorithm with a best solution that can be achieved using some heuristic which can be give us good solution in reasonable time or a polynomial time. Starting with that solution, what we do, we consider it as the global best solution, and then we first initialize our qubit individuals based on some criteria, and we may have multiple qubit individuals, and then each qubit individual will work in their local area, local search mechanism. So they will have their local best. Each of these qubit individuals, they will generate multiple solutions, each of them, and then each of them will have their local best solution, and we will iteratively rotate this qubit individual based on its local best solution, and we will keep on doing for each of these qubit individuals parallelly. These operations may be performed parallelly if we have that advantage. And then after doing this rotation locally, we update qubit individuals, we keep on doing that, and then after some iterations, what we do, we can find overall best solution out of all local best solution, and then perform that operation of updating these qubit individuals towards the global best solution. So what is happening here, that each of the qubit individual are working in their own area of search space and trying to find or trying to optimize each of those qubit individuals as towards their local best solution. So each of these qubit individuals and each of this cycle is trying to exploit a particular search area represented by this qubit individual. So each qubit individual represents a search area, sub search area, or smaller search area in the entire search area. based on the principle of superposition, as we know about the qubit individuals. And this particular small cycle is trying to search that. And then even iteratively, after periodically, we keep on generating or keep on modifying these qubit individuals so that they move or they try to explore, or they try to change their search area from this local area towards the local global area, which is represented by the global Bayes solution. So eventually or gradually these things are happening very at very small values. And so this search is going can represent searching different search areas, different sub search areas in a total entire search area, and trying to move all these search area gradually they are towards the best area, and side by side they are trying to exploit their own area, search area. So this is the advantage of quantum inspired evolution algorithm for doing this kind of work, where we can search exploit a particular search area, a smaller search area, and side by side each of these local areas can gradually move towards the global best solution, and such that your search become more efficient, and it can result into better solutions uh, after certain time. So this represents the structure. Even after having this modified structure, if we actually try to solve a real world problem, or a particular problem which is like mathematical problem, any mathematical problem, we face certain issues which are something like this. So first issue one is slow convergence. Starting with random quantum individuals, no problem specific information used in repairing solution. So first issue is the basic QIA. If we are starting with a random quantum individual, so random quantum individual means every qubit has equal probability of collapsing to either 1 or 0. So whenever we try to observe, we generate a solution, and the generation of new solution is equal, having equal probability for any of the solution in that search space or solution space. So there is no problem specific information used to represent these qubits. So what we can do this is one of the most important proposition for improving of quantum inspired evolution, which is very much possible only in quantum inspired easily in quantum inspired evolution algorithms. So what we can
Bansal,
sorry,
I would ask that you wrap up in 2 minutes. So I'm just letting you know.
okay. So this is one of the problem and one of the issue which we can solve. So since you have made it to be very, so we'll just keep on like this is one of the area, and we can use we can initiate our quantum bits based on the good solution which we have already known for a particular solution for particular problem. Okay, so and then the local optima can be reduced by local search technique, and then we can have mutation of solutions to reduce the local optima. So there are several modifications which can be done in quantum inspired evolution algorithm to represent different issues, to solve different issues. And I'll just quickly move to the number of modifications which can be done in a particular quantum inspired evolution algorithm to improve its performance. So we can start with the best solution using some heuristic. We can represent better distributions, qubit individuals, by not having random representation, but some thought on or some domain specific information based on some domain specific information. And this we have done for QKP. So quadratic knapsack problem is something like this. Given several items, we have their profits given for each item, and we have a profit Pij for each combination of two items also. So apart from their single profit for each item, selecting each item, we have another component Pij, which is related to any couple part any pair of items selected. Okay, and then for each item there is a weight given, and our we have our objective is to collect or select a set of items so that this value gets optimized, maximized, keeping this constraint there. So we have a constraint where amount of weight which we can item selected is in this capacity. So using this algorithm, we have tried to solve this problem, and we attained. So this is suppose initialization, and this is the initialization where we were using random qubits. But for this initialization, if we are initializing qubit individuals like this based on some criteria, some domain specific information, then after rotation, after iteration, we get this kind of distribution. So which is clearly helpful. So since time is less, I'm just going through the results which we have. So most of the problem we are able to hit hundred of times, and the time, minimum time and average time has improved for all the problems, benchmark problems of quadratic knapsack problem. So these are the number of hits. Only for few of them we could not hit 100 times. So, and I have performed this effect of performance based on each of the modification we have proposed, and what is the effect. We have just used that and shown here how that impacts the output. So these are the final observations. Maximum degradation of performance due to removal of sort order, stochastic purge, mutation, and initialization. So all these are different values. So this is meticulous. Like in this, we can observe that meticulously, if we try to modify quantum inspired evolutionary algorithm, because it possesses certain values, certain properties, quantum inspired evolutionary algorithm, that we can balance the exploration and exploitation in a better way, and we can find these problems, solution of these NP hard problems in a reasonable time and in time less than the other approaches, other evolutionary approaches or iterative approaches or exact approaches like dynamic programming and all other approaches. So if there
Thank
is
you
any
very
question.
much. Yes, please. Thank you very much, Dr. Bansal, for that very technical and instructive presentation. The floor is now open for questions from you. You may type it in the chat, or you can open your mic and ask Dr. Bansal any questions or give any comments you may have on his presentation. Okay, in the meantime, Dr. Bansal, I have a question for you. You mentioned knowing how to get a balance between exploration and exploitation.
Yes.
And I suspect someone who is new to quantum computing may not have that right away. You know, they may not get the hang of it. What are some tips you can give us, you know, for a newbie coming into quantum computing and needing to get that balance between exploitation and exploration?
No, actually,
because it seems
this
very
concept of
significant.
exploration and exploitation, it is not concerned to quantum computing. Rather, it is concerned to the searching of optimal solution in a search space. So if we have a search space, if we try to optimize a particular problem where objective function is given, And then we have several solutions which have different values of their function, and we've tried to find the best solution, best value, or maximum value or minimum value based on some function, like I have shown you for QKP. So this is a problem, and we have several items with different values of their weights and profits. Now we want to find a subset of items where this function is maximum. Okay.
Okay.
So when we try to find this solution using some exact technique like dynamic programming or branch and bound or something, some mathematical approaches, we try to hit the best solution in some mathematical way. But in
Okay.
evolutionary algorithms or search algorithms, we start with a random search or random solution. We pick some random solution and we try to generate new solutions based on that random solution we have picked, and we try to see its neighborhood solutions or other solutions, and we try to explore and the entire search space without without expending too much time in searching. So our objective is we don't try to see each and every solution in the search space. Rather, we try to see better solutions only. Some way.
Okay.
So some
Yeah,
technique we apply and we see
sure.
only better solutions in that. So in
And
that
that,
kind of search technique, we have to explore the entire search space. Also, apart from that, we should try to exploit a better search area to get the best solution. So
okay,
we have to keep balance in that.
correct.
Hi, can I
Thank
ask a
you.
question?
Sure.
So to do this, did you use what kind of qubits did you use? Did you use an annealing platform or a gate-based?
No, actually, this is quantum-inspired evolutionary algorithm. We are not actually doing quantum computing, or we are not using quantum computer actually.
Okay.
We are using the conventional
case-
computer only.
All right.
And
So in that case, where do you get the statistics and the results for the qubits?
so, qubits are represented as numbers or vectors of different values.
All right. So you are not actually using the physical qubits. It's simulated.
Yes. We are not
right.
using physical qubits.
Okay.
We are just using that quantum computing concept to have these algorithms search to make this search better. Because
Okay, because I saw the qubits in your
power
graph.
of quantum computing in some way.
Okay, I saw the qubits on your graphs, and that kind of threw me off. Okay, understood. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that question. And thank you, Dr. Bansal, for your presentation. You may stop sharing. And we are trying to keep with the time. So I'll ask Dr. Kumar if the presentation can be loaded. And you may just tell us who you are, where you're from, and what you do, because my screen has gone blank with the information. As I said before, I'm trying to get it back up, but it's not coming back up. So Dr. Kumar, can you upload and tell us a little bit about yourself and proceed with your presentation?
Dr. Debra, I think
Yes.
Dr. Kumar is not joined. I'm still continuing to contact him. Can we go with Shantanu?
Yes, please.
Santanu Ganguly, yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, so to share, yeah, to find. Sharing. No, hang on. Sorry, please bear with me. I'm having trouble loading my.
That's fine. We are seeing that you making the upload, and okay, we can see your screen.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, you just need to put it into full screen mode or presentation mode.
Can you see it now?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay. So I want to take, yeah. So I'm going to address about 3 different kind of solutions. One is post-quantum security. I'm going to touch on it. Then I'm going to expand on AI simulation. of molecular modeling and applications in medicines and battery optimization. And I'm going to finish off with quantum sensing. And by the way,
could you tell
my
us
name is
a little
Yeah.
bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm just about to do that. Thank you. My name is Santanu Ganguly. I'm a principal engineer. I work for Sandbox AQ. Sandbox AQ, for those who may not be aware, is a Google spin-out started in 2022, chairman by Eric Schmidt, and the CEO is Jack Hedery. And my background, my academic background is in maths and physics, and I'm currently also doing a PhD in quantum machine learning. So going forward with this, we have basically, we're working on two vastly different platform. One is an AI simulation, and that is quantum inspired as well. And the other one is cybersecurity from a post-quantum attack perspective. I'm going to start off with the cybersecurity area, and the product in question, we call it an active guard for cybersecurity. And this comes in with in line with U.S. National Security Memorandum, where NIST as a standardization body, U.S. government, many other governments have stressed upon security against quantum attacks in near future. So Active Guard is an end-to-end cryptographic navigation platform that provides an inventory of existing cryptography use, including vulnerability and compliance analysis. If you think about cryptography and security against post-quantum and the NIST proposition that was released very recently, last week, in fact, the question arises is, what kind of encryption and cryptography do we have in our network, in our stack, in our system? Does it need to be upgraded, or does it already meet the NIST requirements? To do that, we need to know what there is, and that is a massive task. It's not easy. So this is where our solution comes in. The result is a centrally managed, robust, and agile cryptography discovery. Sorry?
Okay.
Sorry, is there a question? No. Okay. So the result is a robust and agile cryptography discovery process. So achieving this enhanced state of protection requires this kind of inventory. And what we provide organizations, and this is a very new and upcoming solution, is full visibility, monitoring, and control of cryptography, automatic analysis and reporting on cryptographic security posture, cryptographic policy management, and enforcement. So the discovery process uses three different kind of analyzer. One is a network analyzer that captures network traffic and identifies cryptography used to protect data in transit. The next one is an application analyzer, which you see on the left of the screen, and that detects and records all calls to cryptographic libraries made by an application at a runtime, identifying vulnerabilities and policy breaches. And the last one is a file system analyzer, which scans files to find and parse cryptographic objects in data at rest. So all these three, they are not required to be run sequentially. People can run them, one if they want to. They can run all three if they wish to. So it's up to the users and who are running it. The control is the core of Sandbox AQ Active Guard process. It provides a comprehensive, actionable dashboard view of cryptographic infrastructure, including artifacts, libraries, algorithms, and protocols. And this also includes benchmarking tools to monitor cryptographic performance. What it also does is analyzes cryptographic inventory, cross-references cryptographic use in the network, applications, and file systems, and identifies vulnerabilities in cryptographic algorithms that do not adhere or match to policies that they should as per standards inside the system, such as FIPS 140-2, PCI DSS, or any other internal requirements. The control system also helps integrate cryptographic inventory analysis and alerts into the CI/CD and DevOps toolchains for application tracing and monitoring. And then it can be integrated for remediation by integrating with Jira for trouble tickets, GitHub, or IDE, and any other DevOps issue or tracking tools. And last but not the least, and most importantly, it monitors cryptographic performance. The last one is the remediation tool, which is on our roadmap, and this is something we are working on. It will be released very, very soon, and this is the most powerful aspect of it. So we discover everything that's not quite right in your network in order to protect it from advanced quantum attacks or any other attacks. But then what do you do with it? We know about your problem, but do we have a solution for it? The remediation will give the solution for it. It will allow immediate response to vulnerabilities and out-of-policy algorithms and remediate with real-time cryptographic algorithm and the protocol switching without having to re-architecture IT infrastructure, minimizing costs and times. So with this very high-level view, I'm going to just present what kind of power it gives. It scans the networks. It ingests data from third-party cryptographic sources such as Tanium or Qualys. And then it scans it, it generates a report, and it gives you, so this is a view of the actual report, the dashboard once you log into the tool, which tells you exactly what kind of cryptographic algorithms have been discovered. For example, as you all know, as per NIST, encryptions such as RSA or ESS are vulnerable to quantum attacks. A256 is currently grouped as temporarily safe, but only temporarily so. So all these lists of these algorithms, of these cryptographies, my apologies, of these encryptions are presented in the report. And if you drill down into them, you can see the exact vulnerabilities from the exact source IP addresses, where they're coming from, and you can actually analyze the gap and then push for the remediation side of things. With this, I'm going to start talking about AI simulation and what we have and where we are working in terms of AI simulation. So Sandbox AQ generates proprietary data using physics-based methods and trains large quantitative models, LQMs, on that data, leading to new insights in areas such as life sciences, energy, chemicals, and financial services. While we all know about LLMs, as in large language models, because that's kind of, ChatGPT came out like 2 years ago and took the world and took the entire planet by its excitement. Everybody got sucked into it. But while large language models have recently they have this huge hype, they're going through this, the next wave of AI, LQMs, promises an even greater impact. So one of the reasons for that is an algorithm called retrieval augmented generation, or RAG, which is a type of information retrieval process. It modifies interactions with a large language model so that the model responds to user queries with reference to a specific set of documents, using this information in preference to information drawn from its own vast statistical trading data. What RAG does with LQM is fills a gap in how LLMs work. Under the hood, LLMs are neural networks, typically measured by how many parameters they contain. And LLM parameters essentially represent the general patterns of how humans use words to form sentences. This deep understanding, sometimes called parameterized knowledge, makes LLMs useful in responding to general prompts at light speed. However, it does not serve users who want a deeper dive into a current or more specific topic. In other words, LLMs need to be trained regularly, which is expensive. It is not cost efficient. And also, they have a challenge. The challenge is, once you train a model with data, that model tends to remember the data, as opposed to humans. Humans forget stuff. You know, what I learned, let's say, in ancient history, when I was in high school and I was 12 years old, I probably remember maybe 50% of it if I'm fortunate. LLM models don't do that. They don't forget. Now, to make it actually forget the old and, let's say, out of date data is a massive challenge. This is not something easy to achieve. So what happens is it tends to remember the out-of-date data, gets trained with new data, which causes two different kinds of problems. One is overfitting, and the other is what is known as hallucinations. Because if it's processing two types of data, let's say, or 3-4 different types of data for the same aspect, some of which is actually out of date, then you ask it a question, and that's when it gives you a wrong out-of-date answer, causing hallucinations. Okay, so this is where RAGs and LQMs become important. So, for an example, a generative AI model supplemented with a medical index could be a great assistant for a doctor or a nurse, because they can actually train the model with specific, useful, to the point data. Same goes for financial analysis. You know, in the finance industry, they don't need, you know, data from 5 years ago. What they want is data, recent data, to judge the stock markets, the economic environment, etc. So same thing applies there. So this is where we are with AQG, sorry, with AI simulation, drug discovery, etc. So we are looking at several different kinds of ways of actually doing this chemical calculations and then speeding them up. As we all know, developing a drug, the process can be quite long. Be that, you know, it goes through molecular modeling, it goes through testing. Even the molecular modeling can take years. Currently it's a very slow process and laborious process. So what we are trying to do is we have built an AQ biosim technology stack, and that allows us to accurately predict the behavior of molecules, to generate new molecular structures. And because this is a simulated environment, this does not need to be tested on anything. You get the simulation out before it goes to the field, and that speeds up the process. So the AQ-Med, what you call AQ-Med is this effort where you're trying to use quantum sensing to optimize and revolutionize diagnostic health issues, for example, heart attacks. And there we're using quantum sensing, and these devices, which are mobile and non-invasive device, will provide rapid radiation-free imaging of the heart's magnetic signals, leveraging large quantity models, LQMs, and high-performance quantum sensors to provide physicians with powerful tools for early diagnosis and better patient outcomes. With this, what I would like to do is give you a quick view of where we are heading with research. So whereas our LQM models have already been deployed in the field, being used by research bodies across the world in several universities, what we're also working on is combining the power of artificial intelligence and quantum simulations. As many of you know, NVIDIA, the chip company, the GPU chip company, they came out with a dedicated quantum simulation solutions last year. They have a GPU card called GGX Quantum and associated CUDA-based solution, CUDA quantum-based solution. My apologies. So what we are also seeing is the power of AI and quantum solutions and how that might benefit the world. And we are looking at how to efficiently train the data, how to proceed, how to transfer this trained data and the models to research and industry, and leverage all the powers of generative AI that there is. So, for example, one of the powers of AI plus quantum simulation would be is molecular simulations, obviously. And if we consider a penicillin molecule that has 42 atoms, it takes about 10 to the power 86 classical bits to actually model it on a classical computer. And that is probably more state than atoms in the universe. On the other hand, if we can use a pure quantum computer, we can have it done by 286 qubits. But obviously, pure quantum computers have issues with errors, physical errors, and other stuff. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to combine quantum simulation and AI and speed up this entire process while the research community works on creating more and more error-free physical qubits. Yes, please. Okay. With this, what I'll like to do is show you a quick demo of Chemist Cloud, and you can see it. You can see how our actual tool works in terms of developing and modeling and using AI to model molecular modeling. So I'm going to just quickly reshare my screen and try to find this. Oh yeah, there it is. Sure. So I'm not sure if you can see on my screen. I hope you can.
Yes,
and thank you. So we offer basically 3 different kind of modelings to calculate energy. And in this demo, we'll study a few examples of, I'm losing my screen here, thanks to, yes, a few examples of liquid and solid electrolytes. So what we'll do is we use IFCI, which stands for Incremental Full Configuration Interaction Algorithm, which is a novel, highly scalable approximation of the FCI method, which can obtain results to within chemical accuracy. So this algorithm was actually proposed in 2017 by Zimmerman in a paper. So this is something that Sandbox AQ acquired from Good Chemistry. And the Chemist Cloud is a computational chemistry platform that has been developed by them. It is a high throughput cloud native software as a service solution and usually can be deployed on AWS. As an accurate and scalable implementation of the IFCI method, we have added this to the Chemist Cloud. So this is how we do it. So if you try to simulate a molecule, it simulates the molecule, it calculates the results, and it generates. And on the right-hand side, you see a Run with Quantum button. So this is where we are integrating a quantum simulation aspect to this AI-based solution. And I think I'm kind of running out of time here. So I'm going to stop this share again and share my deck with you and quickly talk about actual quantum simulation.
Yeah, you have 3 more minutes.
I have 3 more minutes. Yes, I'm kind of conscious about that. So just a quick one. We are also collaborating right now with drug companies, with Novonex, etc. And yeah, and this is a graph from battery life cycle prediction. So 3 more minutes. I'm going to scan through this, and I'm going to already done the demo. I'm going to talk about magnetic anomaly navigation, which is more commonly known as MagNav. And the product is called AQNav. The whole purpose of that is to build an alternative to GPS. Why alternative to GPS? As many of you may be aware that there are in recent times, or let's say in the past 1 year of warfare across some parts of the planet, there have been issues where GPS signals have been jammed and many commercial aircrafts had to turn back. Specifically, Air Finland or Finnair, I think they're called. A few of their flights had to turn back because they lost the GPS signals. So the whole point is to use quantum sensing of Earth's native magnetic field and basically bypass this kind of spoofing or hacking attack. And this is a technology that we have very recently tested with US government, being tested across European government as well, and successfully tested in the US. And this uses dual use magnetic navigation system for assured positioning, navigation, and timing, otherwise known as APNT. We use quantum sensors, pure quantum sensors, and proprietary AI algorithms to actually give people navigation solution bypassing the GPS. It's a very complicated process. It interacts with the Earth's magnetic field. It uses AI to try and find the signals on them. Excuse me. I'm not going to get into the calibration effects for the sake of time. So there's a defense use case. There's a commercial use case, and these are the U.S. Air Force testing campaigns. For example, successfully tested. And what we are trying to do, what we have done actually, which is a massive research challenge, is we have been able to separate the signal to noise ratio from the quantum results of the of sensing of the Earth's magnetic field, which is not easy because quantum sensing at its ground level is a very, very delicate process. But this is where we have actually done amazing work. It's working in real life. And with this, I thank you for your attention, and I stop talking, please.
Thank you, Santanu. That was very interesting, giving us an insight into the advances made using the AI simulation in quantum computing. The floor is now open. If you have any questions for Santanu on his presentation, you can open your mic, because there are just a few of us on the platform, less than 20, I think.
Thank you. Yeah. Any questions anybody has? One on security, AI simulation, and AQNav.
But in the meantime,
sure.
How risky is it if we don't have a backup to our system, or it's not updated? How risky is it to attacks?
Which one are you referring to, ma'am? If I may ask?
You can give us an example of one that, for example, the doctors have very valuable information in there and so on.
Yeah.
What kind of risk are they? What kind of risk are they facing?
Great question. And one of the biggest challenges of the AI, and then the elephant in the room that not many people talk about, is these LLM models are so dispersed. There are very, there's a vast attack surface to these models, because all these models are put together from one module to another module. So you have the let's say an input user input surface, and then that goes to next module, that goes to your data lake, that goes to your AI algorithm training, etc. You don't even have to put malware in there. You just have to put wrong data. You just have to poison what you have, what you just mentioned. And to do to do this is the job of the security, which is why I started off the security, because the security needs to be tuned to this AI environment, and it is complex because no two AI environment are the same. These will all be customized. So one company, what used to happen till now is, companies will have firewalls. They would have, some other kind of product, and they'll roll it out, and this will sit in the customer's environment, and they'll do their job. AI is not like that. You cannot deploy, turnkey solutions to protect AI. This has to be done by AI. AI to protect AI, and that's where we are coming in. So each AI environment needs to be integrated to a backup AI environment, or let's say a brother AI or a sister AI environment, which would actually protect them. And this is a very complex process. And from a business perspective, a massive market, if that makes sense.
Okay. Thank you. Very interesting. I know you said you short on time, so thank you so much. I'm sorry you can't stay with us, but we did enjoy what you've shared. And you may stop sharing now. Dr. Kumar, I think you are next. Are you on the platform, Dr. Kumar?
Dr. Debra, Dr. Kumar just texted me that he is in a government meeting. So he will take after, I complete. So that we'll go with me then. Okay.
Yes, sure. Please upload. And I think you're no stranger to us, Dr. Krishnan, but we probably just like to hear from you. What are your current aspirations, what you're working on, because you're always in innovation. And so I'll let you just tell us give us a little insight into your current innovations.
Sure. Dr. Debra, thank you for this opportunity you're giving me. Meanwhile, let me share my screen, and then I'll give an intro about myself and then go ahead.
Sure. For some reason, I have to use my phone, and I had that information, and everything is just going blank while I try to pull things up. So I do apologize for not having the background information on the speakers. I'm still trying to retrieve it.
The thing is, we know your time. You're at early morning.
Yes.
So, you joining us, and like Santanu Ganguly joining from UK and all, we appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Can you see my screen, Dr. Debra?
Yes, we can see it very clearly.
Okay. As you asked me about to introduce myself, I'm Dr. Krishnan Umachandran. I've been heading the World Resource Webinar Industry 4.0. This is about 4 years of togetherness with this organization, and I am a managing director for a company called WRWS Services, which is into emerging technologies. We are into simulation, systems integration, cloud computing, additive manufacturing, augmented reality, IoT, big data, robotics, and all plus of this. In a nutshell, it is a AI company in Anna University. Anna University is a premium university, technical university in Tamil Nadu in India. And we have our office in that. We coordinate and help a lot of researchers to do research in our COBO labs. And we do a lot of AI implementations using vision technology, computer vision. We have good clientele, and we are helping the good leading industries in and around Chennai. We hope to go further as years get added on to our experience. With this short note, my presentation is going to be on quantum computing applications in medical security. So when I started creating this presentation, I know there are leading experts like Dr. Bansal and Shantanu who are completely immersed into this new technology. But I wish to open something which the younger generation, be students or young researchers or professionals, to know what is quantum computing and how it is being applied in medical cybersecurity. Me as a consultant to many industries, we open up the eyes of entrepreneurs and industrial experienced professionals to understand what happens in the research field and that which can be introduced into industries. So my focus on quantum computing applications is towards this target group. So as an introduction to quantum computing, we work on the computing leveraging principles, which is on the quantum mechanics and which can be speeded up for a computational task and protected with cybersecurity applications and protecting more of the sensitive medical data, because medical data is a private one and it should not be let in public or it should not be exploited. So a medical data is a private one and it has to be protected from any kind of a cybersecurity threats, and it should be taken of an utmost care. So with this kind of an introduction, the importance of cybersecurity in healthcare takes a leap, because the data integrity is the one which is of prime and it covers the healthcare data. Healthcare data includes medical records and IoT devices which are connected in a hospital environment or a pharma environment in which it is being used. So this sensitive and valuable data is liable to be attacked by cyber threats. So, and it should be protected from a vulnerable hacking and should also take care of the patient safety. With this kind of limitations we have on this protection area, the overview of quantum computing is dependent on quantum key distributions, which is called as QKD, covering post-quantum cryptography and quantum algorithms, which is foolproofing the data security and secures the communication and resists the quantum attacks and protects against the detection of the algorithm from being hacked. When you go on with this kind of limitations, the QKD, which is the distribution part of the encryption key, alters the quantum state and secures the transmission of medical data, and it should be from reaching the hands of unauthorized accesses. Because the patient data, if it gets leaked, it can go for hurting them on a personal level or to underestimate the health of a social region. So the quantum mechanics, that is an eavesdropping attempt, should be secured, and this any attempt of sensitive patient information being leaked into public should be protected through the quantum key distribution, QKD. The post-quantum cryptography, which comes into place, it should be taking care of all the vulnerability, the quantum resistant algorithms, the long-term security and adoptions that can go with the quantum computers when it is connected to the mainstream. So the classical part of the algorithm is, you have to develop it in such a way, it is essential for a long-term security of a medical data. So it can be either people, the process, the materials used, and the methods that are combined with medical treatment. So it goes with the person, the patient, the hospital, the pharma, and the development that goes on for treatments, the diagnostics, and the formulations. So securing data storage with quantum encryption should be taken care of a safe storage of solutions. And it is on a large-scale database, confidentially stored with quantum decryption, because when you have encryption, you should protect it from reaching the hands for decryption. So the intelligence is not only encrypting the data, but to identify how it reaches the right people to get it decrypted and not into the hands of people who get advantage of using the system. So the vital requirement for protecting this large-scale database ensures confidentiality and protects it from data against decryption, from hackers, and also protect it from a solution that is kept safe for the future of the healthcare. See, the quantum resistant blockchain in healthcare. Blockchain is there in many of the financial involvements, but now blockchain and healthcare is connected with quantum. See, the blockchain has data integrity. It is against the future quantum attacks, and it is decentralized because blockchain cannot be centralized because it is being used from end of every part of the world. So to secure the patient data, protect it from the attack, the blockchain ensures the integrity and provides security to the medical data management. When we build such kind of a platform for quantum communication in medical, the securing reason for IoT devices, because IoT devices, when it's connected through Wi-Fi, it is very vulnerable to people who can go through our TCP/IP and then work on our security protocols and hack through the critical medical equipments. Medical equipments are the ones which are more manifesting in treatments between the doctors and the patient. So the safety and reliability of these IoT systems are to have a security protocol protecting these devices, and the healthcare is susceptible to cyber attacks if it is not protected. So the access rights and the user limits are to be taken care when we connect IoT to medical devices. Quantum authentication of medical devices, if you see, we need to verify the device identity for every individual equipment, device, or gadget, and then spoof it, and unauthorized access should be prevented. Maintaining the device integrity should be within the legitimate commands, the user, the owner, and the patient. So the quantum authentication of medical devices goes more with confidentiality and protecting the data. When it comes to information, the genetic information is more prominent and it is sensitive and private. Nobody wants to share sensitive and private information in public. But this medical management or hospital management has all the data recorded in their computing systems, which is controlled through cloud and accessed by surgeons, patients, service providers, pharma, and many stakeholders. So to safeguard this data, misuse of any genetic information is to be very highly penalized, as this is a personalized medicine. Personalized medicine should be protected and it should not be made public, or it should not go open to everyone to access or see. So the genomic data is highly quantum encrypted and it should be prevented from handling from the hands of unauthorized people. To secure such kind of a genomic data, the more important part is The data sharing is to be restricted. Data exchange should be in a proper way. It should protect sensitive information. So we should know what is sensitive, what is not sensitive, and which is public and which is not public. And then goes on with the genomic research. So the genomic research cannot take every data and then toss it on to the open public. It should know what can be taken, shared, exchanged, and then protected for the patient or the research which is being carried on. So to facilitate a global collaboration, the data sharing and exchange is limited within the access for the researchers and the stakeholders. So coming on to the machine learning part, when it comes to intelligence, there are two things. One is ML, another is DL, deep learning. So machine learning is automatic. So when you have data, then the algorithm that is being connected with the big data is going for an auto evaluation for its existence based on previous experience, and then which is told to be good, which is to be avoided as negative, and then which has to be maintained across as it has been research proven. So ML algorithms are under a threat detection, and it is onto a real-time protection. So it has to be protected from cyber threats so that the quantum computing enhances a faster and accurate detection of what is required in people, equipments, and the stakeholders' requirements. So without compromising on the sensitive information of the person or the process. Later, as we move on to the quantum assisted incident response. See, incident analysis is a critical analysis of any computing. So when we have security breaches, we need to have a minimization of the damage, but it should not affect the operational continuity of any kind of a process. Healthcare is so vulnerable that it cannot be stopped for whatever reasons it is. Even in case of war or any calamity, healthcare is the one which is alive and running. So to maintain such kind of a healthcare continuity, the rapid response to even any kind of a security breach should be fast, and then the quantum computing should be speeded up to overcome such kind of an incident or an accident that happens to the system. To secure the computational biology in computing, see, it happens as a good part in drug discovery. It helps us in handling the sensitive data to care of the proprietary research that is for the stakeholders who are involved in the quantum computing and genomic research. And it takes care of the confidentiality in bioinformatics. So as we go with this kind of a so sensitive computing aspect, we need to secure the data and we have to encrypt it so that we ensure the confidentiality in the whole of bioinformatics. So the part of preserving this data analysis is, see, it is not a one-to-one kind of a connect. There are multi-party computational aspects that goes on, and it's a joint computation. Not one does and the other observes it. So different parts of the world are being connected with this platform, and it's a real very big data. And for a secure collaboration of such kind of a large scale data, the data analysis has to be very fast. So quantum computing secures this multi-party or MPC computing by keeping inputs private and facilitating the medical research within the privacy bonds. Homomorphic encryption. See, when it comes to homomorphic aspects, the encrypted data does not need to be connected to open access. It requires a decryption. If you have to decrypt then you should know how it has been encrypted. So there's a lot of connectivity with the encryption programming and the decryption programming. So to have a secure throughout the process, the quantum computing becomes a homomorphic connection between the person who creates the program and the end user who is to decode and decrypt before using it. So there's a lot of trust. Trust has to be evolved during the programming aspect, and the user aspects of confidentiality building and operating is of more important care. So these data, when it is kept, it cannot be kept on a standalone computers. It is to be accessed through cloud. So cloud is again a vulnerable space, because if we don't know how to protect it when we keep it in cloud, then quantum attacks are very prone. So to ensure confidentiality, cloud safety, cloud protection, and cloud programming of these services that are required in quantum are of an important aspect. And the medical records in the cloud are to be protected, and it should be connected with a disaster recovery system in case of any incident that is going to affect them. Going on with the challenges and future direction. See, the quantum resistant algorithms, whatever we develop, it is limited to the existing infrastructure. We think it should be of a higher speed, but our bottleneck is our existing infrastructure itself is going to stop it from being very fast or whatever it can take up. So the ethical considerations with the existing infrastructure people and methods are also going to have a limitation on the quantum. So the continuous advancements in quantum cybersecurity, not only in computing, the quantum cybersecurity, and important for resistant algorithms, upgradation of infrastructure at the earliest to be in line with the need, and regulatory and ethical considerations are the ones which are the milestones for future directions. As a conclusion, see, these medical records or the data is on a sensitive patient information. So we need to have a future proofing of healthcare. So our data is limited to the access of who has to use it, when it has to be used, and how it has to be used. So the key role in healthcare is holding more on quantum computing, which promises for protecting our data and helped with cybersecurity, which is very critical for us, so that the future of healthcare is protected and taken care. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, Dr. Krishnan. And we thank you for giving us that foundation in the importance of the privacy and confidentiality of our healthcare data and how we can use quantum computing to achieve that. I now open the floor to the participants. You can use your mic and ask any questions of Dr. Krishnan on his presentation. Okay. Dr. Krishnan, in terms of storage space for these records in cloud computing, that should look at like a fair amount of cloud computing space. Is that very costly if we go that way and put the records in cloud computing?
Okay, nice question, Dr. Debra. Thing is, it is not expensive to keep data in the cloud, but it is vulnerable to keep data because countries like India, which have their servers in North America or elsewhere, they keep it in a place which is very far from geographically for them to reach. So what happens there is dependent on the security that those server providers give offer to these people who are using it. And having such service is the investment for such service is very expensive. And so not everyone can have the accessibility to have service to keep the data. So more prominent is people from the West or companies in the West or China are these two kind of a geographic entities which hold on to a lot of data, or even Europe, whereas the whole of the other world is dependent on these three prone parts of the globe. It's not expensive at all.
Okay, thank you for giving us that insight. Have you heard from Dr. Kumar?
I don't think he may join. So we'll go on with sharing the attendance link.
Okay.
Just please see through and then inform me whether you have seen the link once again.
Okay. Not yet. I'm not seeing it in the chat. Have you shared it, Dr. Krishnan, the attendance link?
I've just shared, Dr. Debra.
Okay. It's probably taken. Okay, yes, we can now see it.
Yeah.
So we ask participants to take a few minutes now and fill in the attendance link so that you can be issued your participation certificate. I'm doing mine right now.
Yeah.
Should only take a few minutes because it's really just 3 questions.
Few information.
Yeah.
So conclusion, Dr. Debra.
Okay. So we'd like to thank our presenters for sharing their expertise with us in quantum computing.
Video. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Just 1 second. I have to go back. All right. Well, I lost my screen. I'm sorry about that. But we certainly would like to thank all for coming on and joining us in this very important workshop. As we have heard from the experts, cybersecurity is top priority now because of the sensitivity of attacks on our systems. And certainly quantum computing is one mechanism we can use to protect our data. So we'll close here. We did not hear from Dr. Kumar, so we do apologize for his absence. But certainly we can have him back at another time. And do enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Debra.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I'm closing the link.
Okay, sure.